Hi guys and gals, I am Teacher Ian and I will be your science teacher for today. Do you know how your appliances work? Do you know how they are connected to energy sources? What safety devices does your home have? In this video, we are going to talk about these things. So grab your activity notebook and pen and let's start.
Your targets. Infer the relationship between current and voltage. Explain the advantages and disadvantages of series and parallel connections in homes. And explain the functions of circuit breakers, fuses, earthing, double insulation, and other safety devices. To test how much you already know about the properties of materials and how to classify them, let's try these easy questions. Please get a pen and your answer sheets so that you can write down your answers. Please do not forget to submit all your answers for this video to your teacher. Remember, you can pause the video in each question to give you time to think and answer. Are you ready? Let's start. Select the best answer from the following items, then write your choice on your answer sheet. Number 1. Which of these is described as the number of electrical charges passing through a conductor in a given time?
A. Charge, B. Current, C. Resistance, D. Voltage.
Number 2. Which of these is described as the electric potential difference or the energy required to move electric charges?
A. Charge, B. Current, C. Resistance, D. Voltage.
Number 3. What happens to the current if voltage is increased? A. Increases, B. Decreases, C. Remains the same, D. Cannot be determined. Number 4. Which of the following connections has a single pathway for electric charges to pass? A. Series circuit, B. Parallel circuit, C. Compound circuit, D. All of these. Number 5. Which of these happens when the circuit offers little to no resistance to the flow of charges? A. Overload, B. Short circuit, C. Octopus wiring, D. Both A and C. Great job guys! You've finished the pretest. Are you ready for more? I hope you are. Let's continue. Fact or bluff? Decide if the following statements are fact or bluff. Write your answers in your answer sheet. Number 1. Current is the flow of electric charges in a conductor. Number 2. The unit for current is volts. Number 3. Voltage is the energy required to make charges flow in a conductor. Number 4. Voltage is measured in volts. Number 5. As the voltage increases, the current decreases. For the first activity, current and voltage, infer the relationship between current and voltage. For the first part, the materials that we're going to use are conductor or wire, light bulb, battery or tristle, ammeter, switch. Now this is a series circuit. To make the electrons flow, let us close the circuit or turn the switch on. Notice that there is only one path for the flow of electrons. Let us open the circuit first or switch it off before we attach an ammeter. The ammeter will measure the current flowing in the circuit. Close the circuit again and please note the ammeter reading in your activity notebook. This time, we will add another dry cell to the circuit. Close the circuit again and note the reading in your ammeter this time. Guide questions. Number 1. What is the reading on the ammeter when there is only one dry cell in the circuit? Number 2. What is the reading on the ammeter when there are two dry cells in the circuit? For the second part, the materials that we're going to need are conductor or wire, light bulb, battery or dry cell, switch, voltmeter. Next, Let's remove the second dry cell and connect a voltmeter to measure the voltage in the bulb. Close the circuit and please note the reading in the voltmeter. Open the circuit again, then add another dry cell. Close the circuit again, then note the reading in the voltmeter in your notebook. Please answer the guide questions in your notebook. Guide questions. Number 3. What is the reading on the voltmeter when there is only one dry cell in the circuit? Number 4. What is the reading on the voltmeter when there are two dry cells in the circuit? Summarize your answers on this table. Please pause the video to give you time to copy the table and answer it. Keep this in mind. Electric charges can flow continuously in a closed circuit. Voltage, or the potential difference, provides the energy to make the charges in the conductor flow. Current is the flow of the charges in the conductor due to the voltage. Current depends on voltage. The greater the voltage, the greater the current. If there is less voltage, there is also less current. Current is represented by uppercase I and its unit is ampere, represented by uppercase A. Voltage is represented by uppercase V and its unit is volts, represented by uppercase V. Apply what you've learned. Encircle the box from the following table that will produce more current. Great job! You've finished the first activity. Let's move on to the next. Series or parallel. Decide if the following illustrations are in series or parallel connection. Write your answers in your answer sheet. Activity 2. Series and parallel connections. Explain the advantages and disadvantages of series and parallel connections in homes. The materials that we're going to need: conductor or wire, 2 light bulbs, battery or dry cell, switch, voltmeter. This is a series circuit. Notice how the components are arranged. This is a series circuit. Notice that there is only one path for the flow of electrons in the 2 bulbs. When one of the bulbs was disconnected, what happened to the flow of electrons? Did the bulb still light up? Please note your observations. Let's reconnect the bulb and measure the voltage in each bulb using a voltmeter. What are the readings in the voltmeter for each bulb? What is the reading in the voltmeter for the 2 bulbs? Please note your observations. Guide questions. Number 1. What is the voltmeter reading for the bulb on the left? Number 2. What is the voltmeter reading for the bulb on the right? Number 3. What is the voltmeter reading for the 2 bulbs? Number 4. What happened when one of the bulbs was removed even if the circuit is closed? This is a parallel circuit. Notice how the components are arranged. This time, notice that there are more than one path for the flow of electrons for the 2 bulbs. When one of the bulbs was disconnected, what happened to the remaining bulb? Did the electrons continue flowing? Please note your observations. Let's reconnect the bulb and measure the voltage in each bulb using a voltmeter. What are the readings in the voltmeter for each bulb? What is the reading in the voltmeter for the 2 bulbs? Please note your observations. Guide questions. Number 5. What is the voltmeter reading for the bulb on top? Number 6. What is the voltmeter reading for the bulb at the bottom? Number 7. What happened when one of the bulbs was removed even if the circuit is closed? Keep this in mind. In a series connection, there is only one path for the current. When one bulb is removed, the current stops because of the gap. The remaining bulb does not function because the current stops due to the gap in the circuit. In a parallel connection, there are two paths for the current, one for each bulb. When one bulb is removed, the other can still function. The functioning bulb is still part of a closed circuit and has an independent path for the flow of current. To compare the current, voltage, and resistance in the loads in the two circuit connections, please study the table. Which of the two connections is more practical in your house? Apply what you've learned. Draw a circuit diagram for series and parallel connection using the following symbols. Great job! You've finished the second activity. Let's move on to the last one. Guess the word. Guess what is being described in the following items. Write your answers in your answer sheet. Number 1. An automatically operated electrical switch designed to protect a circuit from overload or short circuit. Number 2. A device that protects the circuit from overloading by interrupting current through its melting metal strip. Number 3. The process of transferring an unintended electrical energy directly to the earth through a low resistance wire. Number 4. This is characterized by having two layers of insulating materials surrounding live parts. Number 5. This occurs when you draw more electricity than a circuit can safely handle. Safety devices. Explain the functions of circuit breakers, fuses, earthing, double insulation, and other safety devices. Circuit breakers are devices that cut off electrical supply to loads to prevent overload or short circuits. A fuse is a small, thin conductor that melts and opens the circuit in the event of excessive current. Earthing is the process of transferring an unintended electrical energy directly to the earth through a low resistance wire. Double insulation is characterized by having two layers of insulating materials surrounding live parts.
An overload occurs when a circuit draws more electricity than it can safely handle. It creates a danger of fire from overheating.
Octopus wiring, or the plugging of many gadgets and devices to a single extension wire, disregarding whether the wire can handle the flow of current. Short circuit occurs when electrical flow completes its journey through a shorter distance than in the established wiring. Apply what you've learned. Number 1. In a paragraph, explain why it is important for homes to have a fuse or circuit breaker installed. Number 2. In a paragraph, explain why it is not advisable to plug in too many appliances in a single outlet or extension cord. Great job! You finished the last activity. We're almost done. To help you summarize and reflect on what you've learned on this video, please accomplish these sentence prompts. I have learned that. I wish to ask my teacher about. I want to learn more about. As a reinforcement, briefly explain the following concepts or topics. Number 1. How are voltage and current related? Number 2. Which is more practical in home connections, series or parallel? Why? Number 3. Why is it important to have devices like fuse installed? Rubrics for grading. Correct concept, 50 points. Coherence, 30 points. Cleanliness, 20 points. Total of 100 points. Please do not forget these keywords. Ammeter, an instrument used in measuring current. Conductor, a material that conveys heat or electricity. Voltmeter, an instrument calibrated in volts that measures potential difference. Amazing job, guys! We're almost finished. To test your learnings on electricity and electrical connections and safety, let us answer the post test. Please write your answers on your answer sheet, which will be submitted to your teacher along with all your answers in the previous activities. Please pause the video in each question to give you time to think. Ready? Let's begin. Select the best answer from the following items, then write your choice on your answer sheet. Number 1. Which of these is described as the number of electrical charges passing through a conductor in a given time?
A. Charge, B. Current, C. Resistance, D. Voltage.
Number 2. What is the unit for current?
A. Amperes, B. Joules, C. Ohms, D. Volts.
Number 3. Which of these is described as the electric potential difference or the energy required to move electric charges?
A. Charge, B. Current, C. Resistance, D. Voltage.
Number 4. What is the unit for voltage?
A. Amperes, B. Joules, C. Ohms, D. Volts.
Number 5. What happens to the current if voltage is increased? A. Increases, B. Decreases, C. Remains the same, D. Cannot be determined. Number 6. Which of the following connections has a single pathway for electric charges to pass? A. Series circuit, B. Parallel circuit, C. Compound circuit, D. All of these. Number 7. Which of these melts and opens the circuit when there is excessive current? A. Fuse, B. Earthing, C. Circuit breaker, D. Double insulation. Number 8. Which of these can be reset and reused again after tripping or cutting the excess current? A. Fuse, B. Earthing, C. Circuit breaker, D. Double insulation. Number 9. Which of these is characterized by plugging in too many devices in one outlet or extension cord? A. Overload, B. Short circuit, C. Octopus wiring, D. All of these. Number 10. Which of these happens when the circuit offers little to no resistance to the flow of charges? A. Overload, B. Short circuit, C. Octopus wiring, D. Both A and C.
Congratulations! You finished the video lesson. I hope you learned a lot. Till next time,